All right, hello everybody. Welcome to coronavirus update number 19. It is approximately 8:40 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. And today we're going to talk about a couple more things that are going on currently. So obviously, we're going to give people a couple of minutes to go ahead and join our stream, and obviously, we're going to wait for some comments to come in. And yeah, so anyways. Like I said again, it is 8:40 p.m. Let me just double check something here. Okay, good. So like I said, gonna wait. All right, I'm gonna get my cord out in the meantime. Okay, there we go. 1 second. Hi, Lenny803, how are you? And hello, Dylan D. Jesus, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Muhammad Sonic Boom, how are you? Okay, there we go. Thought Dylan D was in here. Okay. Hello, Lenny803, and hello, Muhammad Sonic Boom. So yeah, definitely some more reopenings. Beaches weren't as packed. Oh, and there he is. All right. Hi, Dylan D. Jesus. So beaches weren't as packed. I know some beaches, especially more south, were certainly packed. There was that crazy thing in Missouri. That was pretty crazy. A lot of people no social distancing. Brian, I don't really have a comment about that, but yeah, I'm not really going to talk about that because I don't need to. So yeah, there's more reopenings that are coming. Certainly, Long Island and the Mid Hudson region are expected to begin their phase one reopening on Wednesday, and I believe that phase two might be very well fast tracked. Obviously, depending on the direction that the number of coronavirus cases go down. So slowly but surely, we're starting our recovery. We are at the point where we need to get people back to work. We need to get people comfortable to ride the train again. Personally, myself, I would love to go out to a mall again. My goal would certainly be to go to a mall before Father's Day. I think that would just be a goal that is quite possible at this point. But like I said, I still have to make that trip. I'm just waiting for whenever where people are allowed to do non-essential travel on public transportation and when they're allowed to go to a mall again. So I'm just waiting for the green light on that, and then we should be good to go. I don't know exactly when it is going to be this summer. I just don't have a date right now. I'm literally just waiting to see unfortunately, just waiting to see what the governors say at the end of the day, because ultimately it is their call about what is going to reopen. Hi, Brandon Smith. How are you? Oh, there's a petition to save Nordstrom's in Dayland, Florida. Did not know that. Okay. Nuts. I don't know yet. Hey, Elevators of Steel City by Otis Elevator Fan 102. How are you? I don't know yet what's going to happen with Nordstrom's at Freehold at this point. I mean, at this point, the store is not savable. I think I don't know yet what's going to happen with Nordstrom's and Freehold. I really don't know at this point. It depends on when they get the green light to open up the mall. We might have some better clues for when that does happen. By the way, is anybody else live tonight? I don't know. Double check. I don't think so. Yeah. No. By the way, I hope everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day. I know it was kind of dry this year, and I know there wasn't a lot of parades. As you know, most of the events in my town, unless there was a very small gathering, are pretty much canceled through I think the end of June at this point. And I'm not surprised. Let's try and keep going at the way that we're going. Let's try and get over with this disease, and then we'll just have to practice social distancing. So, but yeah, I don't have any plans yet for any malls at all at the moment. So yeah. Well, that must have been from a little bit of a while ago. I mean, it's going to be a slow transition at this point. So yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to at least go and see the liquidation sale, but I mean, at this point, I don't think the store can be saved, but it would be nice for it to have a very small liquidation sale. Like I said, if they decide to do one because of the out mounting support with the petition, I might very well make a trip down there. But it all depends on what happens between now and towards August. Because in my opinion, it just doesn't seem right to just say, you know what, we're not opening up the store to the public again. I think the public should have a chance to say goodbye, not just slap it in their faces. Because I mean, that is certainly a significant loss. That store in particular. Cherry Hill ain't nothing special, and Menlo Park is like literally the smaller version of the Freehold location at this point. Oh, hey Michael, how are you, man? You know, from what I've heard I belong to this group on Facebook. It's called Department Stores Matter, and from what I heard, the reports are not accurate. So maybe Lee Totet got an extension of some sort, and they're going to do the process much slower. So I don't know. Like I said, they've only been allowed to open up two stores. Um, you know, so I don't know at this point. Yeah, the Stroud Mall is that's a sad mall too. They lost their Sears store in I think it was 2018 or 17. I'm not sure. That's another sad story. The Stroud Mall. No, Nordstrom's is going to leave Freehold altogether. At this point, what I'm hoping for is possibly a very small liquidation sale. But again, I don't know. I know somebody that lives down there, so they're gonna keep me informed if they do decide to open up the location. And for that, Otis Vanity, I would definitely take the hour drive. It's worth it for me. Absolutely, I would definitely take the. I would think so. The rest of Pennsylvania will be in the yellow phase by 6/5. I heard about that. And Dauphin County, the county where Hershey Park is, made the cutoff for the yellow phase by May 29th, which is fantastic to hear. So at this point, Sears closed at the Quaker Bridge Mall. 1 second, guys. My apologies. But yeah, so Dauphin County made the cutoff. They're going to be going into the yellow phase. Now, what Pennsylvania is doing is it depends on the way that the number of cases that go down and up. So hopefully, it just depends on how the region is doing, at least. Yes, it did close. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to Sears and Quaker Bridge, and I wanted to go so badly, but I was not able to, unfortunately. I generally like Nordstrom's elevators. They're not crappy like Sears or JCPenney. Yeah, they are nice, especially the 90s ones. So it's just a real shame to see Nordstrom's depart from Freehold. But I want to try and get down there one more time, hopefully. But we'll just have to wait and see. It depends on how everything plays out with COVID. Hershey Park will probably open up at about 50% capacity. That makes sense. And I could also see Hershey very well doing online queuing. That could be like smart. Um, because I think they're going to want to be smart and they're going to want to play it smart this year, at least. Is JCPenney going to be bankrupt soon? All stores or some stores? 242. I don't know exactly which locations are closing. Like I said, JCPenney has not yet released um, the list of which stores in particular they're going to close, so I cannot answer that right now. Nordstrom's in Cherry Hill, Menlo Park. Cherry Hill is not a great. I mean, it's a nice store because it's from the early 2000s, but the Schindler is not the best. Like the Otis Vanity in Menlo takes the cake over that Schindler. I mean, and it's not to say that Schindler's bad. It's just it's just not a great store because it's not classic and old. It's not like a 90s. It's got that 2000s feel. It's very similar to the Christiana Mall. That's another Nordstrom store that's actually nearby, believe it or not. I don't know. Woodbridge would be sad. That would be a sad closing, I think, because that's a Montgomery global parallelogram, and Brunswick Square too. That would be another significant loss because those are Dovers, and that was the last JCPenney elevators I rode before all the lockdowns began. JCPenney is going to go bankrupt soon in 242 stores. Yeah, I don't know which ones yet they're going to close. I mean, what's crazy to me is this year they announced a couple of store closures and now 242. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't really have the, I'm not really going to rush down to Woodbridge. I'm more concerned about Freehold right now. Hopefully they will open it up for a very small liquidation sale. But like I said, with the way that everything is going right now, I'm not sure if even that's going to happen. So it really does stink though, because it's like it literally just hit like a meteor. So that would only leave Macy's and Boscov's. I don't think it is. I mean, the mall already lost Lord and Taylor in early or earlier this year because of a closing that was announced back in 2019, and what's it called? Yeah, so it closed in 2019, and then Sears closed. No, it closed in 2020. Sorry, early 2020. Lord and Taylor at Woodbridge Center closed. Then Sears closed in April, April 11th because they were kicked out of the mall, and they were asked to completely leave by April 11th, and that was right around when the coronavirus cases were starting to go up. That's when they closed that store for the last time. It's a shame. That was an old Abraham and Strauss. So the only anchors left at the mall are JCPenney, Macy's, and Boscov's because Lord and Taylor and Sears are both gone, and Dick's Sporting Goods too, if you count that. So Woodbridge Center could be in some trouble in the next couple of years, which really sucks too, because it didn't have to be that way. But Lord and Taylor's gone, Sears is gone, JCPenney's in trouble, so we don't even know if that store's going to survive. Macy's could very well close if they go down to Menlo Park. So I don't know. It's interesting. No, I'm not visiting Tallahassee anytime soon. I'm not going down to Florida anytime soon. Oh man, that sucks having a fight. Yeah. So I think there needs to be an effort to try and hopefully save the store. But like I said, from the letter I got from the general manager, I don't think it's looking too good to try and save that store. Unless something radically changes between now and like the beginning of June. But if Nordstrom's is looking to exit Freehold at this point, we can't not agree with them. So unfortunately, that's the way that things are sometimes. JCPenney. Yes, and that's the only JCPenney in the state of New Jersey to have a Montgomery Vector. I don't like how JCPenney's with Kone. I don't like that either. I don't like that either. Well, that makes sense. No, I don't think so. JCPenney is not, they don't have money to upgrade elevators. What phase would car showrooms be in for Pennsylvania? Yellow or green? Probably yellow. And Joe, it's interesting you bring that up. New Jersey actually just opened up their car dealerships, obviously with limited hours. But I would say probably the yellow phase because New Jersey just pulled that trigger. When did they? They did it on. They did it last Friday. I could expect some more announcements coming from our governor, I believe, tomorrow, and then I don't know. And then there's Cuomo, who is absolutely loving his ratings right now. I don't like to talk politics, but I don't know. These like every day he's on, every single day he's on. Even Phil Murphy doesn't even go on every day because he knows like he doesn't have to go on. But I don't know. Cuomo's on pretty much every day. It kind of stinks, but that's what they like, unfortunately. Yeah, EcoDisc is traction. That's right. It is a traction type thing. Yeah, I mean, JCPenney only has 2 stores on Long Island, Westfield South Shore and Roosevelt Field. I'm going to be honest. I think he, at this, look, it's not to say that I disliked him with the way that he, the fact that he took action early on was great, but I think it's starting to get to his head. And, he knows it too that people have to get back to some normality. So, the problem is he's moving way too slowly at this point. He should be moving a lot more faster. I don't like to talk about this, but the problem is people people in the media like Cuomo. They like how he acts. They like how he's moving slowly and he's being aggressive about it. So I don't know. It's tricky. It's very tricky to analyze it because he's pretty much on every day, like every day. And not only that, if you guys don't know what News 12 is, it's this broadcasting network that's in our area. Literally, when he goes live, every single News 12 goes live. My state shows it. New York, obviously, that's a no-brainer. Connecticut even shows it. I don't know. To me, it's a little much. It's a little too much. I think people have to get back to work. Things have to start opening up again, and that's it. We can't do this for what, another month? It's bad. Everybody had to give up April. That was a no-brainer. May's the transition month, and by June, we have to start opening up again. That's just the bottom line. No, I haven't been to Boca Raton before, but I do want to go to Florida at some point. Hi, Ultra Eric. How are you? Uh, Ross Park Mall. Yeah, that would be a shame, especially if it's an old Montgomery A series. Um, yeah, I mean he's pretty much live every day at this point. It's just it's disgusting. It's and it's every station you turn on. Like let's say you're trying to watch a game show on like 2, 4, 6, or 7. You can't even watch that because they will literally cut whatever commercial that's on, whatever show's on, and they'll go right to Cuomo. It's just, I don't know. In the beginning, I thought, okay, this is why this has to be on, but now it's just getting old at this point. Now he's just saying, we got to move smart and we got to rely on the science. Look, I get the science. I get it. I get it. We have to look. I get it. We have to take a look at the science, but we have to start moving a little bit faster. Not let's just accelerate and spike up again, but we have to move fast a little bit faster. We cannot just be in the same spot. I mean, it is almost the end of May and nothing has happened. So I don't know. I mean, I mean, yeah, they said something for Memorial Day weekend, but 25 people or less, and then only 10 people inside. We have to start moving a little bit more at this point. But I think the Cuomo groupings in the beginning, they were great because they were very detailed, and I do appreciate that they were very detailed. New York took aggressive action and they followed New Jersey and Connecticut, but now it's just getting to the point where we just have to start opening up again. It is almost June, and literally where I live, nothing is open. You can't get a haircut. You can't go to the mall. You can't even ride public transportation unless you're going for essential travel. It's I don't know, guys. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna get to some of your questions now. If you want to talk about anything coronavirus related, or you want me to show me the chart, I want you guys to show the charts. Just let me know in the chat. I'm just gonna get to everybody's questions right now. Okay, I guess saw that. Everyone has to go out. Travel ban needs to end. People need to start getting back to work. Yeah, I think Yeah, no, I agree. Gatherings need to start, you know, coming back to life, but slowly, not 100,000 people. You know, but gatherings need to start happening again, but in small portions. I like how Governor Phil Murphy said that 25 or more is permitted. Inside, yes, it's a little bit harder to do so. I think the travel ban first needs to end in the portion where traveling from place to place. I think it is going to take some time for people to start traveling outside of the country and people coming into the country. That is just going to take a little bit of extra time. But yes, we need to start thinking about how to prepare because it's going to come quick. It's going to hit like a meteor, and bam, everybody is back to work. So it's coming. Like it's at this point, it's coming. I mean, it's been 2 months now. Long Island and the Mid Hudson region are going to begin opening up, I believe, by this Wednesday. And then as for New York City, unfortunately, that part of the state unfortunately does remain on pause for now. But I think they're going to inch closer. But the good news is the Mid Hudson and the Long Island regions of New York State at least are going to be opening up starting on Wednesday. But it's only going to be construction, retail for curbside pickup only, and I don't know what is the third one. I'm not sure about that. Hopefully it will be a week. It'll be much smaller. They'll accelerate it a little bit, which would be nice. But again, I don't know what is going to happen. So it's a wait and see scenario, unfortunately. Again, guys, if I'm getting to your questions late, I'm trying to read everybody's questions. Chris, yesterday I drove by the streets in my area and one house was having a birthday party with like 20 people with no masks. I couldn't. Oh, with no masks? Hmm. Well, you know what? It's not like they're out in public. If they're in somebody's houses, if they're in like a backyard, then that's their own thing. But out they should be wearing masks. I mean, I could see why they need to wear a mask, but I think if you're in someone's house, I don't really think you need to mask. I mean, you should definitely have one, absolutely. But I think if you're at someone's house and as long as you're checked, if your temperature is taken before you enter, I think you're okay. A mask should be, yes, when you're in public and you cannot practice social distancing. No, I don't think so. J.C. Penney's kind of broke right now, and I don't think they have the money to modernize elevators. Burlington Coat Factory downsized to one floor Garden City. Makes sense. They want to probably use the space more efficiently. A Schindler RT? Um, depends. It depends specifically. If it's close enough to you, I would say yes, go film it. But if not, then no. Interesting. How bad is Alabama? Cases are increasing, but not as much. Oh, under 25. Yeah, same thing here. We do as long as it's under, as long as it doesn't exceed no more than 25. A brand new Blues Clues DVD comes out next week. Make sure you order it. A little bit old for Blues Clues, and to be honest, I don't like the new Blues Clues. The classic ones when I grew up in the 2000s, that was the best. The new one, hate it. Absolutely hate it. It just destroys it. I don't know. Maybe it's because that's what I grew up watching, but that's just the way that I see it. No, I don't think so. Unless they release the list, which by the way has not been released yet. I don't think. Typically they release it on like the layoff site because literally it's literally these volunteering other people on that site that yeah my store is closing and I and I'm out of a job. So they're volunteering violating company policy, which is just great. Oh, great. Trying to decide if going back when we open is worth it. I worked at JCPenney for 10 years as a supervisor. Oh, what's this guy with a degree in a field of a completely unrelated? Wow, some people don't even want to go back to JCPenney. I don't blame them personally. I don't blame them at all. I mean, it's a company that's really struggling. I don't blame them if they don't want to go back. This is probably the best time to quit companies like that, and Sears too. Oh man, there's going to be so many people just volunteering to resign from a company that's just god awful. But we can thank Eddie Lampert for that one. He's gonna get a nice rant soon once this whole thing with COVID passes. Oh, people were in the front yard. Hmm, it's a little interesting. Well, were they 6 feet away? I mean, I don't know. I think as long as they had a mask with them and if they needed it, then they should be okay. Uh, it depends. If it's a Westinghouse RT, sure. So many people visiting the dome of our beaches. From what I'm hearing, cases are increasing in I think I think Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland. I think that's the new hotspot, I believe. We're going out west in on 619. Nice. On vacation, you staying at a hotel? I do too. Look, I don't like the new version, but the older version with like Steve Burns and Joe, like that was a good show in the early 2000s. The new one is just bad. It's just I don't really like it myself. I was never a fan of the new one. The only good thing about that show was the fact that they actually brought back Joe and Steve in a collab, which was nice, but you could tell by Steve Burns wearing the hat on his head was covering up that he was losing hair. Just wanted to I don't even know at this point. And he was making so much money too by being that host. It's a shame he gave it up, and he gave it up quickly too. I think it was like he left the show in like 2002. It's a shame. Like that show had potential. Like they marketed that show so hard. It's a shame too because it was a cash cow. He was set for life, and then all of a sudden he just walks away from it, which is a shame because he was making good money and at the time I was growing up watching that stuff. Man, imagine how far it would have gotten if he would have stayed. But it's a shame. It's a real shame. Do we know? No, I don't know yet. Yeah, they need to stay open. No, it's not closing. Once this whole thing with coronavirus passes and I have a little bit of extra time to myself, absolutely. I will. I need to do an Eddie Lampert rant. It's going to be reserved for when Sears literally goes defunct. And I'm going to, I want to wait for Sears to literally just pull the plug. And that's what I'm going to do my Eddie Lampert rant. Like it's going to be a wild one. It's going to be one that's going to be wild. But I know I want to do it so badly too, but I got to wait until they pull the plug on Sears. Like 1 foot away. Oh, 1993? Yeah, I guess it's worth it probably because an RT is pretty rare at this point. A foot away. Wow. Well, you know what? I think at this point I think people are just done with this whole thing with social distancing. I get it, but I mean, we've been doing it for 2 months now. I don't know. That's just the way that I feel. Jim Tedesco should take advice from Bill Pascarella. He is 90 years old and he loves American Dream Sports Project. He even helped get Triple Five the Finish Project. Yeah, Bill Pascarella is actually my congressman, believe it or not. So I'm not surprised, and I'm sure he supports it because it's within his congressional district. It's a shame, because the county executive doesn't really see the point of the complex so much for the premise. That's for sure. I don't know, Chris, but maybe some more. Well, you should if you have all that free time. Are the murder hornets spreading? No, that is the one thing I haven't heard on the news. Eddie Lampert deserves a good rant. I agree, and he's going to get one when the day that Sears announces that they're ceasing operation completely. His time will come. His time will come. It just hasn't come just yet. It got a little bit delayed because of COVID, but once COVID passes and we're back to normal, his time will come. But right now, he's safe in his yacht for now. Let's just say. Makes sense. Yeah, yeah, and then it got shorter. I think as the show went on. I know he needs a bad rant. They probably are going to close all their stores. They're just waiting for COVID to pass because right now Kmart is like their only profitable place. So once this all passes, that'll be the beginning of the end for Sears. Well, that's because Eddie Lampert just doesn't care. I mean, this is a man who has a yacht and is a Wall Street billionaire, and he screwed over the company. I mean, the bottom line is, he stole a lot of people's jobs. He closed several locations, and then he brought in his friends from Seritage Growth Properties and just destroyed the brand. I mean, this was a store that had a lot of potential, and Eddie Lampert just he kept holding on because it was just very profitable, and then it started losing its profit. So interesting. Yeah, Eddie Lampert is making it die. Really, I didn't know MEI merged with Kone. That's interesting. There is. There is, that's right. It's Blue Skidoo, I think. Yeah, I need a haircut ASAP. Really, I didn't know that. Interesting. He did get busted at Queen. Well, he didn't get busted, but there was people yelling and screaming at him for riding an elevator. Tip of advice: never go to Queens Center during Christmas time. That is, first of all, it's a dense mall. The mall is nothing special whatsoever. And you don't go during Christmas time when everybody's at the shopping mall, although that might be a little bit different this year, but that's just a tip of advice. It is a classic Nick Jr. show. Yes, the two Sears and Roebuck stores left on Long Island are Green Acres Mall and Westfield Sunrise. It is a vintage department store that Eddie Lampert is destroying. They do. 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's a very far distance. Excuse me, guys. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. Excuse me, guys, just for 1 second. My apologies, everybody. I just had to say goodnight to some of my family members who are going to sleep. Closest Kmart to me is in Kearney and Belleville. If you're in Pittsburgh, I would highly recommend going to the Mall Robinson, Westmoreland Mall, South Village. Don't go to Ross Parker. Why not? Is there going? No, I don't think so. There's no confirmation on Boscov's. Hey, Aaron, how are you? That's interesting. I guess Eddie Lampert probably likes that. Both malls out. Oh, I see what you're saying. Makes sense. Biggest escalator lost through all of this. Probably the Peely escalators at Macy's and Broadway. That's probably the biggest one. And probably Nordstrom's Freehold too. That's certainly a loss. Smith Sears at Smith Haven, Kmart Penn Station. So certainly some losses left in here and right. Oh, nice, playing some Roblox. That's good. Me, I've just had summer school, and I've been doing a whole bunch of other things. Yeah, now Broadway Commons has nothing special at all now. IKEA is crap. The brown one is crap. And the mall elevator is not bad, but yeah, Broadway Commons at this point has nothing special now. Yeah, it's unfortunate Macy's couldn't close on March 22nd, but due to COVID-19 coming along, Macy's was forced to close the store 5 days early. So I don't think so. You'd have to have the governor do that. That's not a prime minister thing. You'd have to have the governor of New Jersey to convince him that it's great. Yeah, the problem with Tedesco is like I said, Tedesco grew up in Paramus, which means he knows what malls are like. He knows what retail is like. So when he looks at American Dream, he sees it at not a great destination because he knows of all the destinations up in the Hackensack and Paramus area of Bergen County, which is a shame too because it's like he's taking it for granted, literally. The only elevator I like now at Broadway Commons is the elevator in the food court. Yeah, and even then, it's not worth it to out there. Really interesting. No, there is no Dillard's in New Jersey, and I don't think they're going to want to expand into New Jersey at this point. That's up to you. Yeah, it's a shame because that armor, those armors elevators at Macy's really made Broadway Commons a destination. Now at this point, it's just one of those, another one of those generic malls. It's a shame. It's a real shame because it didn't have to be that way for that mall, but whatever. Yeah, I think the closest Dillard's at this point is for not at this point. Sorry, wrong terminology. The closest Dillard's for me is like down in like Virginia, and I wouldn't even drive that far for a Dillard's. Not worth it to me. Yeah, Dillards are in weird spaces, spots of America. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird. It's always just been like a weird store. Like they don't really have a lot of stores around here. No, we don't have Dillards around here. We have got Macy's, we've got Lord and Taylor, Boscov's, Sears, and JCPenney, and Nordstrom's and Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue. Yeah, Saks Fifth Avenue doesn't have a location in New Jersey currently. There's only going to be one exclusive one in American Dream whenever that opens. I still can't get over how they gave up Short Hills in favor of American Dream. That was a stupid move by Hudson Bay, but Hudson Bay doesn't care, as we all know. I get why they gave up Hackensack. That was a shitty one. That was a shitty Saks Fifth Avenue. Sorry for my language, but it's the truth. That was a very crappy Saks Fifth Avenue. Short Hills was like the bigger version of Walt Whitman, and it's still a shame that they had to close that store because it didn't have to be that way. No, because there is already, I think, a Kohl's in that area somewhere. I just don't know where. I've been to a Dillard's once, and that was out in Las Vegas. That's the only Dillard's I've been to, and that was literally to just go in there and ride the elevator. So I've been in a Dillard's before. It's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, that I think is the biggest loss of this year. That's the first biggest loss. The second biggest loss has to be Nordstrom's and Freehold. Hopefully, I can still go there at this point, but I don't know. It's not looking too good. They did file for bankruptcy, but I think they're just closing last call for now, at least. Oh, nice. Probably because it's like the only one in the area. Yeah, I still can't get over losing out on Macy's in Hicksville. I'm so glad I went there when I did before this whole thing with coronavirus went down. I have no regrets of making that trip whatsoever. Yes, I lost an entire day, but it was worth it for those elevators. No regrets behind that trip at all. Anyways, good video coming up. Probably gonna watch after this. Yep, they're still there at the mall at Short Hills, but unfortunately, it went from a Montgomery Kone to having the same mod as Westfield Garden State Plaza and the Westchester. March 1st, that's when I went to Livingston, believe it or not. And I don't regret making that trip either because now Livingston is probably poised to lose another anchor store. So no regrets behind that one either. The only one I couldn't get to was Smith Haven. Couldn't do much about it, unfortunately. Neiman Marcus is at the Westfield Garden State Plaza in Paramus, New Jersey. Yep, it's still there. There's two of them. Yeah, those are the only two in New Jersey. Westfield Garden State Plaza and the Mall of Short Hills. And I've been to both. Elevators exactly the same, like exactly the same modernization. The only difference is the rails. The rails at Short Hills are a little bit chunkier and they're older, and the rails at Westfield Garden State Plaza are a little bit thinner, like they're smaller. They're not as big. That's the only way you could tell the difference. But the modernization, the buttons, the chimes, the way that the motor sounds, exactly the same. It's like they were both built around the same time and modernized around at the same time. Yeah, there's only two. Since I don't know the exact pronunciation, and King of Prussia. So yeah. Actually, I'll take these headphones off. Hey man, how are you, man? BRB, is Neiman Marcus going to go bankrupt soon in some stores or all stores? I believe some. I'm not 100% sure about that. They haven't announced which ones they're going to close yet. So yeah. Um, okay, so while you all are here, I guess I should take a look at the COVID thing. Yes, it was literally just updated today. Um, Actually, you know what? As much as I don't like using the New York Times, I'm actually in this instance going to use it just for this time being. Okay, let's go there. Okay, so this is on the New York Times website. I don't have a subscription to them. It is through my institution. So this is where the peak was, and then that's where we started to see cases decrease. So as of today, we are at about we are at about 20,092 new cases of coronavirus. So this is the country as a whole. You can see Chicago certainly became a hotspot. Los Angeles became a hotspot, and definitely Atlanta hotspots. And all the major cities, especially along the East Coast, became hotspots. And they might be thinking, how did this happen? Well, unfortunately, we had a lot of flights going in and out of New York to Europe, and that's how the virus came to here, unfortunately. So this is the states of where the coronavirus cases are increasing. We, unfortunately, is the state of North Carolina. Tennessee is certainly seeing a little bit of an increase. Wisconsin still climbing up. Alabama still climbing up. South Carolina, Nevada, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Puerto Rico, North Dakota, Maine, and unfortunately West Virginia looks to be back at about where they started. Cases are staying the same in all these states. It's starting to decrease a little bit in Texas. Michigan, it went down significantly. Washington State, it went down significantly. Montana, it was quick up, and now it's quick down, so it's at a pretty good spot now. Guam it is down, definitely huge. And then obviously this is where coronavirus cases are decreasing. New York it is down significantly. New Jersey down significantly. Massachusetts down. Pennsylvania down. Connecticut, Colorado, Rhode Island, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, Kentucky, Washington, D.C., South Dakota, it's increasing just a little bit. Oregon, and finally Wyoming. Alaska and Montana were the only two states that weren't in as much trouble, and Vermont too, and Hawaii. But definitely New York and New Jersey took a huge hit, and it's very nice to see that it's finally starting to go down, which is nice. Hey Matt, how are you? One of my best friends is an essential worker with his mom. He works for a UPS warehouse in Parsippany, and his mom is a nurse at St. Carl's Hospital in Denville. Wow, that's two essential workers then. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, with where the Macy's store was, there was a lot of issues too, like the town itself, but I don't know. No, there was never a Bonton. Actually, no, two Bontons, Brick and Phillipsburg. Those are the only two in New Jersey. Yeah, Macy's and Broadway was still a significant loss, and I'm crossing my fingers that I'll be able to get out to Comac as well, since I lost out on Sears and Smith Haven. My plan ultimately for Long Island is to take the train to first go to Smith Haven, then Macy's and Comac, and finally to end the day at Walt Whitman Shops. That's going to be the plan whenever the stars align. So no one came to the Jersey Shore, which was interesting. It was very quiet, and the businesses were down significantly. There was some kind of protest today. I think it was in Point Pleasant. But it just tells you that people have had enough of this shutdown, and it's time for us to start opening up again. So hopefully it'll come sooner than later. But yeah, yeah, because here's the thing: because New Jersey Transit and the Long Island Railroad connect at Penn Station from where I live, it's a quick and easy transfer over to each transit system. So it'll be very easy for me to get out there, which is great. It's a benefit because, I mean, it's no brainer. I'm gonna have to wear a mask, but at least I can go there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe by the end of this week, or maybe when things start getting back to normal. Yeah, especially those elevators were lost. They were 1955, or I'm sorry, 1956 armored traction elevators. Certainly a significant loss, that's for sure. So couldn't agree with him more. Yeah, absolutely. Going out to Smith Haven, yeah, no doubt about that. Plus the GWB, it'll be. I don't really like driving over the GWB, honestly. I'd rather walk to Smith Haven if I have to, versus trying to take the GWB. And then you got to deal with all those roads out there. It's just, I don't know. I think I'm better off just trying to just take the Long Island Railroad because I was able to do it with Hicksville and it worked out pretty well. So I'm going to try talking now. Might be going to Maine in a couple of weeks in a county where COVID cases are very low. Yeah, I want to. I don't know when exactly I'm going to go somewhere, but yeah. Well, the problem with the area was the things where what type of people hang around there. That's why that Macy's unfortunately had to close. It wasn't Broadway Commons who made the decision. It was corporate at Macy's that made the decision.
And I think they made the decision based on the culture of the area and how the area was being looking like. So yeah. So it wasn't Broadway Commons' fault. It was it was the fault of Macy's who did that. So yeah. No, I don't think so. Neiman Marcus is already in trouble, and I don't know what's happening with Lord and Taylor at this point. It's like a family getaway. Probably won't much to film. Makes sense. Um, I'm glad he drove down to Point Pleasant. Smart. Um, yeah, and the other issue regarding Long Island tolls. So when you get to GWB, it's about with or without Easy Pass is $15. With Easy Pass, and depending if you're going peak or not, you're either paying $11, you're paying $13. Plus, not to mention, not only do you have to pay that toll, but then you have to pay the toll when you are exiting the area. You have to pay $8 just to leave New York City. So you pay 15 when you cross the GWB, and then you pay another 8. So it's about the same, but I think you get a lot more. First of all, you get a lot more flexibility with the train. You can get to your destination, and you don't have to worry about having a car. But you do have to rely on when the trains are going to run. Now, the good thing is, from what I hear, they're going to add more train cars on the Long Island Railroad. So hopefully they'll add more trains when I have a chance to go out there. Now, I'm not making a date right now currently. Like I said, it depends on when things start clearing up. It depends on when the governors say it's okay to do so. So I'm going by, unfortunately, I don't have much of a choice. I have to go by what they say specifically. Newark, New Jersey will be the last New Jersey city to open. That I don't know. I think Newark is going to be open sooner than you think. I don't know. I think Boscov's has potential to go into 3 spots in the mall: Lord and Taylor, J.C. Penney, and Sears. I've seen many DWI cases on the Long Island Express. What does that mean? Oh, driving while intoxicated. Nice. No, that's fun. Driving while under the influence of alcohol. That's always fun. Never thought we'd be doing a live stream, guys. Yeah. Like I said before, but yeah, Eddie Lampert will be getting what's coming to him soon. So when will Harrisburg? They're entering the yellow phase, I believe, on May 29th. I don't have a guess at this point. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm just kind of just waiting and yeah, pretty much just waiting to see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be more announcements tomorrow from both governors about the next steps, because it's just interesting. At this point, I'm just waiting for what the government is going to say, and hopefully sooner than later, things can get back to normal. It's just kind of sucks being told to stay at home, with limited stuff to do. You're either sitting at home or you're waiting on lines to get food, whether that's buying or you're waiting on a Starbucks line, which is ridiculous, or waiting on a Krispy Kreme line, which is ridiculous. So you're either buying food or you're just sitting at home. There's not really much to do, unfortunately. I mean, schools, I could see why they had to close them for the rest of the year, which is smart. I'm not from Parsippany. I'm much closer to the GWB than you think. I don't think any states are. I think it's just going to be slowly easing back into normal life, pretty much. Hi, Texas Elevators. How are you? Okay. My aunt lives there. Yeah, no, I'm not from Parsippany. So I have a lot more transit flexibility than you think. I'm maybe two station stops away from Penn Station. Like a quick transfer over at Secaucus Junction and then getting into Penn Station. So the NJ Transit part's pretty easy. It's going to be the Long Island Railroad part that's a pain in the ass, but it's okay. You know, I'd rather do that versus trying to go up to that area. And Westchester County, for me, is pretty easy to get to. It's not that hard to get to. Well, because Hudson Bay had an exclusive contract with Kone. I think they will. I think they're going to come up with a way to contact, trace, and testing. So I think they'll be okay with that. Yes, absolutely. Kone ruined both of those except Westfield. No, Dick's Sporting Goods, they have a location, I think, in Parsippany or one of those towns. I'm not sure. I love Jolly Roger's Water Park so much from Ocean City, Maryland. Nice. I think schools are going to open back up in September. It's going to be probably a while until I go back there, honestly. It's unless they come up with some kind of way to limit capacity. I mean, I'm not looking to go there anytime soon. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, they ruined that too. They ruined Manhasset. That was another one they destroyed, and they destroyed Fifth Avenue. Yeah, they destroyed a lot of them. That's a place you should not be visiting anytime soon. Shanghai, China. Yeah, I would stay away from there. I've had a long day, let's just say. Yeah, I agree. The virus has to be done. That's up to you, unless you know that you're going to go there a lot. That's up to you. I feel bad for Jim Lee too, but you know, I mean, it's not his fault. You know, he's a very nice dude, and we've talked before, but it's a shame. Yes, they screwed it up, sold it to Lee Totet, and then they screwed them over. Yeah, Manhasset got overhauled by Kone. Okay, so I want to try and do something interesting here. Well, actually, okay. So for the next, okay, nice. You got back from bowling. What do you think of American Dream Miami? Lord and Taylor Woodbridge's loss? Yes. Schindler MT low pitched. So yeah. Just got back from bowling. Ugh. Yeah, all my family lives in here. Lives in New Jersey. I don't have any there. Willowbrook is a high pitched. Woodbridge is a low pitched. Yes, I've heard of AC Moore. They merged with Michaels, and AC Moore went bankrupt completely. They were based in New Jersey, believe it or not. Yeah, that's a shame. All right. Yeah, I wish you could do that here, but you can't. Like I said, very limited activities to do in New Jersey. And New York too, and Connecticut. Well, Connecticut you can actually go to a mall, but in New Jersey you can't. Really, EPCO's based in New Jersey. That's probably why there's so many EPCO elevators in New Jersey. That makes a lot of sense then. Oh, wow, I'm tired. Okay. All right, so yeah, they're opening up Texas quick. Wow, they haven't even done that in New Jersey. New Jersey, they're just turning the knob slowly. But in Texas, they're going. Bye, Dylan D. Jesus. How are you? All right, guys. So, sorry about that. Bless me. All right, guys. I'm a little bit tired. I know we had our fun, but I actually worked on a project today. I'm pretty tired, and plus I have to do more school tomorrow. Yay for me! I'm in summer school. Fun. So yeah. Bye, Elevator Steel Sand City. Thanks, John C. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry if this is coming, because these are all coming in late now. Sorry, this StreamYard thing, it's always delaying itself. Anyways, guys, so I'm going to go ahead now and end this coronavirus update. You guys have been wonderful. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll have some more announcements coming this Friday. Like I said, I've got the next couple of days are going to be pretty business for me. So, but hopefully we'll have some more announcements by the end of this week. And yeah, hopefully we'll see some more positive stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you again for watching coronavirus update number 19. And we will see you guys on, actually, no, let me take that back. Q&A live stream number 51 will be on Thursday night. And that's confirmed because I actually have another event Friday night. So we will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching. That will be it.